There's been a tremendous amount of research in the Catholic Church on the pedophile priest issue. And the John Jay report came out, which attempted to identify how come so many priests were involved in the sexual abuse of children, mostly boys, by the way. So it would be these are homosexual acts because they were men molesting boys. And as a result, they began to look back to try and figure out when this began and so forth. And although there's always been a problem, as there always is everywhere, with sexual molestation, that problem in the church began post-1950s, essentially in about the 1960s is when everything began to spin off the charts in terms of abuse.
And they looked at it historically and found that it was in the 50s to early 60s that all this began. Amazingly, Dr. Alfred Kinsey wrote his first book about sexuality in the human male in 1948 and sexuality in the human female in 1953.
Correct.
And of course, that is now commonly known as the K-bomb.
Yes. That
it actually dropped the K-bomb on the greatest generation coming back from the war here in America. And of course, that rippled around the world. So in context, you're trying to give them some answers as to the ultimate origin of why they began to see these results happening within the Roman Catholic Church.
Absolutely. It wasn't going on for forever. It did spin out of a major cultural change, and that cultural change has been well identified as the sexual revolution. The sexual revolution had a father that they always dubbed the father of the sexual revolution. That was Kinsey. So if you have a revolution, it has huge fallout. And one of the key fallouts was that post-Kinsey, the Catholic Church actually found itself being trained by sexologists who were Kinseyan, from the Kinseyan movement, from the Kinsey model. They were shown pornography in the seminaries, in groups of seminaries where the bishops were so inclined. And the Orthodox priests, people who wanted to be priests, rather, who were going into the seminaries, who were Orthodox and who did not believe in promiscuity, whether heterosexual or homosexual, were simply removed. They were not permitted to become priests because they were, quote-unquote, too Orthodox. There were psychologists there who had been trained in the Kinsey model and who were throwing out I would say, the good priests, because these were people who were not designed to molest children. So the impact of Kinsey was enormous.
This has been an obnoxious cat production.